I heard you done sung for the president before.
I have.
Two of them.
I have.
I think it was Bill Clinton,
Yes.
George Bush, right?
Yes.
Not the daddy, the son.
He's so silly.
I'm just saying, not the daddy, the son, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Man, what was? I mean, it's not every day that I get to sit down and talk to somebody that's actually been around some of our presidency. You know what I'm saying? Whether they've been in office or not doesn't change the fact of who they were. So, I'm curious, and I'm sure the viewers are curious. Like, what was that experience like singing for the presidents?
I will say my favorite was Bill Clinton because he had this aura about him when he walked in the room. And I was just like, now I see why a lot of people respected him, despite how he came out of the game. But, he had this amazing aura to him, to where the one picture I took with him, I was cheesing like a motherfucker. I was so mad. I was like, damn, Ma, this picture is crazy.
Yeah.
But it was that aura that he carried. And I was like, that's an amazing president because you demand that commandment. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And he definitely did. And his wife, during her speech, actually spoke, and she was like, I've never heard all 4 stanzas of the Star Spangled Banner until Charisse Mills performed it. And I was like, ooh, what a blessing to hear that.
Wow. I have to go back to what you said. And you said you was like, before he went out the game. How do you feel like he went out the game?
Man, for someone sucking his dick? Come on.
I mean,
I understand, but look what's
Charisse.
happening now. Look at Trump talking about grab by a pussy. Like, things
that
are
man
so
was
different.
already like that.
Things are so
He was,
different,
understandable, but you got to think about it. This man was never in any type of legal type of work.
No
You know what I'm
scandal.
saying? No. And I'm talking about, Trump. He was never that. Like, this man was a businessman, you know what I'm saying, who made a couple of great business moves and ended up getting on. He's fell in bankruptcy. He's done all the shit. He's a regular dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that people fail to realize is that they all are. Why do we hold people to a higher expectation than we hold ourselves?
Well,
You know?
hey, look what happened with Jay Morant. I'm sorry. When you sign up for a certain role, you have a certain role model you gotta keep. You sign that contract, that dotted line say you gotta do this XYZ 1, 2, 3. You're not just human anymore.
Well,
You're setting an example for everybody.
I agree. I agree to a certain extent. And I agree to where, like, yeah, you don't need to be throwing up gang signs and shit like that, right? You don't. That you don't even know what a lot of that stuff is. You know what I mean? I've never heard of him being a West Coast descendant
My
or
husband
anything
was
like
just
that.
talking about
So
that.
I understand that. But when it comes down to the gun factor, and we'll get back to you, like when it comes down to the gun factor, he has no felonies.
Right.
He has no, like, when has it been illegal for somebody to possess a gun? Because he's in the light that
When
he's
you're in the NBA, there's certain rules and regulations you have to follow. That's just that. You don't
This
see
is
LeBron
true.
doing that. You don't see Kobe
This
doing
is-
it, and that's why they got the name that they got.
This is true, but
You
guess
know?
what?
It's unfortunate.
This day and age has changed. The drill rapper era has formed and has been born.
But I think that's the
So,
problem. That's the problem.
it is.
There's too much things being able to be done this day and age. That's why Bill Clinton got thrown out at that time, because a lot of the things that are doing now was not acceptable back then.
Yeah, it's like
If
this.
if Clinton was in office now, that whole scandal with what's her name? What's the girl
With
name?
who?
That sucked his dick.
Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
Fucking I got it right
You know-
on the
you
tip of
know-
my tongue.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking
If
about.
it had
It'll come to
happened,
my mind.
if it had happened,
Monica Lewinsky.
Monica. If
Monica
it had
Lewinsky.
happened now, he wouldn't have been expunged for that. I think the times are different, but I feel like every day, even things on TV are allowed that was never allowed before.
Yeah. Listen, I'm in agreement, and that's why I was trying to say that drill rap has taken over. It's a difference. These kids are influenced.
But
In
is he a
different
rapper
ways
or is he
than-
an NBA player?
True, but they're influenced. But listen, even Kobe and Jordan, all them, like even LeBron, listened to rap music.
True.
You know what I'm saying? They were influenced by rap music, especially when you got some of these rappers that are famous calling out your name in a
Yeah.
track. How
It's-
you think
it's
boosts
unfortunate.
you? It boosts you in a different way. But like I said, I don't agree with the gang shit for him because I don't think he knows too much about that.
And he's only 23, so he's young. He's making
What do
crazy
you-
mistakes.
Listen, what do y'all expect out of
Yeah.
him? He's a kid
Yeah.
that got a whole lot of money that he's never had before. This is a kid from a place that, man, the population is 3,000 people, literally. Like
But
it's
I ain't gonna lie, we're not making no excuses because
It's
he
no
had one
excuse.
chance before and
It's
he's did it again.
It's no excuse.
Come on now.
But having the gun, what if the gun's registered to him?
It does not matter.
Shark. That's what it says on a quick Google search. Section 9 or whatever said the NBA rules that if they have a gun, the team has to know about it, has to be registered, and it's allowed only in certain settings, which has to be approved by them.
You see?
And that's just a quick Google search. I don't know 100%, but kind of makes sense.
And I love that.
When you
Donnie.
sign that contract, you got to know what you agreed to.
And I agree, but I'm just looking at it like that these are kids that have never had nothing. They're just trying to live. Now, do I think it's right? Do I think it's right? No, I don't. But I have to understand that we were young too. Like, and it's this day and age, kids don't even move off their own accord. They're easily influenced. The influence game today is at an all-time high. It's so easy to catch your child or my child and easily influence them, and it'll be happening under your nose and you never even know.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I feel like it's a different day and age today. Do I think that it's right for what he did? No, but we're treating him like he killed somebody. Like, and I think that, like, if you want to suspend him, I think that they should have did what my man Jay Will said on ESPN. Shout out to them, Jay Will, Keyshawn, and Max. You know, he was like, they should have put him on a heavier suspension before.
You know what, though? Like
and
you
they gave him
said,
a slack.
influence, but it's influential when you showing a gun and you have children looking up to you. That's the problem. You got all these school shootings and whatnot, and it's not cool to be like, oh, it's cool to pop a gun up and on Instagram Live. You seeing so many kids thinking it's cool to carry a gun, and that's just that. If he was a normal citizen, he could do what the hell he wants to do, but you're not considered a normal citizen. Just like let's circle back, just like the president. Bill Clinton is not a normal citizen. He cannot just go having anybody suck his dick and not think something's gonna happen in return.
But and I'm gonna agree with you once again. But I also feel like people make mistakes. They're men at the
Absolutely.
end of the day. That's all I'm saying. So to hold these people as almost like this idol, like, not saying we idolize, but we're putting them in this where we feel like people idolize them for being in these high profile places. And it's like, these motherfuckers, like,
They're human.
they still like ketchup and chicken nuggets, man. Like, fuck. Like, you expect them just to, like, just get away from it today. And sometimes I feel like people have to make mistakes. John Morant has made a couple of horrible mistakes, but not as bad. I mean, come on. Look how they did fucking now. And I love Michael Vick, but look how they did Michael Vick back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Over the dog fighting and shit. Like, that was ugly. That was bad. Dogs were dying. They find dogs by the pool and all types of shit.
That was crazy.
This is a fucking couple of kids. He's a basketball player, 22 years old. They're riding. He's listening to some music.
And he's off
influenced,
season. Off season.
Off season, influenced with one of his homies. He want to look down. You know what I'm saying? He wants to look cool because you know why? I'm sure when he goes around him, niggas telling, man, hey, man, back the fuck up. You just a basketball player. That fucks with a nigga's mode a little bit. Especially when you're looking for a sense of respect.
Well, that's why you need to have proper guidance around you. Period.
Very true.
All right, so you see it. We just hit 500K. You know what that means? That means you gotta subscribe and get us to 600K because we are dangerously close to 666K. Let's go.